girl pumili.
Ang hirap pumili.
Meron na po ba kayong nagawang bagay na nakakahiya? Sabi ni Bobby,
More on nakakapanghinayang.
Siguro yun.
it runs in the blood.
Hindi shopping bag na sa...
Ako na naman! Thank you guys.
Hi guys! Welcome back to our channel! I'm Paolo.
Shine!
And Angela.
And we are
This
This
is
Vlog! Today is a very special day because it's Ate Jella's birthday! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! And just like what we did last year, we had a mukbang Q&A, and today is our part 2. So since it's a mukbang, of course, we're looking forward to eat the food and your handa.
Yay!
And so we're very excited, but first we're going to show you what we are going to eat.
Yes, so let's start here. Of course, we have our favorite things from Frankie's.
Frankie.
Yes, and then we have barbecue from Vito's. And then we also have pancit from Tito Mark's.
Tito Mark.
And then we also have, of course, pizza from Yellow Cab. And of course, sushi rolls from...
Hazen Sushi Roll.
Yes, also our mom cooked her...
Specialty.
Yes, carbonara, and of course, beautiful cakes. We have the treasure cake and the vintage cake with cute details.
This is from Earth Cakes.
Yes,
Thank you so
really
much.
pretty.
First, we're going to get the food that we would eat for our Q&A.
Yes.
Yes.
And guys, don't worry if isipin nyo ang dami. We're going to share this with everyone after.
Yes, of
Yes, and
course.
actually, marami kami sa house.
Yes.
So,
And share natin yan sa lahat.
And again, good for 1 week na to.
Yes! Okay, let's eat! Of course, in every handaan, hindi mawawala ang barbecue.
of course, pancit.
And pancit.
Pancit for long life.
Hey! Are you excited to know all
Yes,
the
actually,
questions?
we're very hungry.
We're very hungry and we're very excited to answer your questions.
Yes, and of course, we want to thank everyone who threw in their questions because today we had a Q&A Dropbox and a lot of you sent in your questions.
Yes.
So thank you so much. We will answer as much questions as we can today.
So,
Let's
start! First question. This one is from Minguki.
Oh, Minguki,
Hi,
how are
Minguki.
you?
So her question is, what's your favorite Korean food?
For me, my favorite Korean food is Korean chicken.
Me, I love samgyeopsal.
Mm.
It's
For
really my
sure.
favorite.
Yeah.
And ako guys, sa mga nakanood ng mga team up reaction videos namin, siguro alam niyo na kung ano yung favorite Korean food ko. It's tteokbokki! Question number 2, it's from Jamaila Grape.
Hi, Jamila.
Hi, Jan!
So her question is, sino po pinakamahilig sa K-drama?
Hindi ako.
Okay, hindi ikaw. Hindi talaga siya mahilig sa K-drama. So, sino?
Before, I'm not so into K-dramas, but recently, parang ang daming magagandang K-dramas. So,
Totoo.
yeah, because my problem is mabilis ako mabore. Pero recently, medyo marami ako.
Kailangan fast-paced mo
Yes.
Gusto niya action agad.
Or I think ngayon parang mas marami akong pinapanood
Mukhang
na
ikaw.
K-drama.
Oo, mukhang ikaw. So, for this question, ang answer natin is si Ate Shine. Idiretso na natin sa question ni Jandy.
Jandy.
Hi,
Hi,
Jandy.
Jandy.
Hello, Jandy! One of the sweetest also is always
Yes.
messaging us. Thank
Sobrang
you.
support niyan sa atin. Thank you so much, Jandy. So, ang question ni Jandy is, favorite K-drama as of 2021?
Ako naman kasi since hindi ako mahilig sa K-drama nga, pinaka-recent ko natapos talaga is Reply 1988.
Ah, okay.
So, matagal na siya, pero
Matagal na
2021
nga.
ko siya napanood.
Dudes, parang
Yes.
ano yan?
2016 pa, 2015.
Last mukbang pa natin ata yun.
Hindi, Itaewon ako nun eh.
Okay.
So, nagbago naman, may isa.
Ikaw?
Well, sobrang naaliw ako kay Penthouse.
Okay.
Yun, kay Penthouse as of now.
Ako, sa lahat...
Ang dami, sorry.
Sige
Ang
lang.
dami nga kasi, pero yun nga.
Ang hirap girl pumili.
Ang hirap pumili, pero-
Kasi halos lahat sila action.
Yes.
Pero kwento mo na lang kung ano yung K-drama na pinapanood mo recently.
Now I'm watching, of course, Nevertheless. I'm
Nabi,
watching...
Songkang,
Yes. Yung Marriage.
Marriage, Featuring Love and Divorce.
Yes.
Guys, maganda siya. Sa start, yung first season medyo mabagal, pero second season ang ganda.
Yes. So na,
Give it a shot. Maganda siya.
Meron pa mine. So marami. Pero yun nga, naaliw ako sobra dahil sa sobrang bilis ng Penthouse.
Hindi ko marirecommend yung Penthouse sa mga ayaw ma-stress.
Although mas stressful sa akin si
Marriage.
Yes.
World of Married.
World of Married is for me more stressful. Alam mo yun?
True. So ako, this 2021, sa lahat-lahat na napanood ko, for me, ang pinaka-tumatak is The Uncanny Counter. Yes. Gusto ko yung story niya, kakaiba, tsaka heartwarming din siya.
Napanood ko yan, isang episode.
Ay,
Hindi ko natin
bakit?
maganda nga, hindi nga ako mahilig.
Maganda. Also, natapos ko rin si law school, which is also good.
So kasi yung one pa lang, alam mo.
Ang ganda.
So, nevertheless talaga to. Kung episode 1 pa lang po action,
Yes.
nevertheless.
Yes, diba sinasabi ko sa'yo yun? Grabe guys, I'm waiting.
I am shocked!
Grabe, tsaka nagwe-wait talaga ako every week.
Hindi ako nanonood ng ongoing kasi na K-dramas.
Same.
Parati yung mga tapos na.
Oo.
Pero binigyan ko ng chance, nevertheless, kasi interesting. Tsaka sabi niyo maganda daw. Next question is from Jemaila. Sino pinakamagastos sa merch po? So, K-pop merch ito.
Yeah, either you or you.
Masya.
Oh,
At Angela.
bakit?
Kasi siya, kinocompete mo yung photo card.
Oy, hindi naman ako nagko-collect ng photo ko.
Hindi ba? Basta marami siyang binibili. Complete yung icons. Ako kasi treasure lang talaga ako nag-merch talaga.
So, ako. Next from I am Super Pow.
Ay, she's here!
Wow!
She's here, I miss you! How are you? I hope you're doing well.
So, her question is, medyo serious ito.
Ah? Sisi? May pa-serious?
Okay, quiet please. How has the ECQ changed your life?
I miss you.
Thank you for that wonderful question.
Yes, thank you for that wonderful question. Sisi, can you repeat the question again?
Okay.
Well, for me, what I can say about that is I've learned to appreciate things more because yun nga, since nag-ECQ, ang daming nagbago, a lot of changes from before. There are things na we take for granted, yung meron pa tayong freedom to do what we want whenever we want. So now, yung natutunan ko is what's really important in your lives. Of course, one, important yung health mo, of course, your family, your friends. And that you should not take those for granted kasi you'll never know. Kagaya nga ng situation natin ngayon, di ba? It's been 2 years. Never take things for granted. Appreciate the simplest things, the smallest things in life.
For me naman, I changed siguro drastically kasi before I really like to go out almost every day. Nag-work ako outside, sa office. Ngayon, for pagising natin, yung work natin, sa bahay na siya. So parang hindi ka na nakakagalaw masyado. Yun lang yung changes. But I agree with what you said na we really don't take things for granted. Yun
Diba yung mga
pinakamoto.
simpleng makakalabas ka man lang without mask, yung mga ganong bagay, di ba?
So, sa akin naman, socially, hindi siya ganun ka-different kasi hindi naman talaga ako palalabas na tao. Talagang homebody lang ako. Siguro yung difference nga lang talaga is
That's true.
yung, ano nga ba difference na?
Wala pong difference kay Angela.
Ano nga ba? Siguro yung work. Kasi before, syempre, yung job mo outside. Ngayon talaga, work from home siya. From this experience sa ECQ, siguro ang na-realize ko lang is not to mind all the things that are not necessary, yung overthinking. Kasi makakakos lang yan ng anxiety sa'yo. So, focus lang sa mga things na important as of now. Focus on yourself, sa health mo, kasi yun ang important. So, yun yung pinaka-big realization ngayong ECQ. Next!
Thank you, Sisi, for that question.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Have a great
Pao.
day.
Next one, it's from _Anu_Bera.
Hi, Anu.
Yes. Hi, Anu. Inspiration to start a YouTube channel.
Well, for me, because I really do enjoy watching vlogs. Like when I guess I was in college or after college. And then I was telling you guys that you should vlog nga. When we got to travel na together, we thought of
Documenting.
yes, documenting and sharing it, diba? Para at least we also have memories and at the same time,
Ma-share natin.
yes, ano yung maganda puntahan. Personally, I enjoy watching vlogs, so I think that has become my inspiration to start a vlog. Yes.
Next question is from _Shari16. I just wanna ask if you have any plans vlogging your daily lives.
Yes, I mean, possible naman siya, pero kasi since nasa ECQ nga tayo ngayon, medyo mahirap siya gawin kasi, yun nga, nag-stay na tayo sa bahay.
So we're not sure kung sobrang interesting ba yung
Yeah.
daily lives natin these days.
Actually, if you guys have suggestions, just leave it in the comment section down below para we can also, maybe give it a try, no?
It's from _Hanbuel7.
Hanyu.
Hanbuel. Sa concert po, ano po ang dapat bilhin na ticket pag gusto po na may soundcheck and send-off? If gusto mo ng both soundcheck and send-off, you will buy separate tickets.
Either
Yes.
soundcheck
Yes.
or
So,
either
bibili ka ng VIP with soundcheck and then kailangan mo rin bumili ng VIP ticket with send-off.
And to be honest, guys, it's quite expensive.
Yes.
Pero worth it.
Yeah,
Sobra,
I would say.
sobra.
Dapat talaga, if you really love the artist that you're going to watch, and you have to save for it. And for us, since we've done it before, for us, it's really worth it.
It's one of the best and
Yes.
most memorable experiences.
Yes. Next question is from Francine STHN_.
Hi, Francine.
Hello. Do you have a plan to react to Treasure Map Season 1, TMI, 3 Minute, TikTok, Finder Korea, etc.? Yes, we are planning to react to more treasure contents like Finder Korea and Team Up Season 1. So we are just trying to schedule everything. So wait for it. Okay, next is from Vixel Roses. If you were given a chance to talk to Hanbin, what would you say? So if ever I'll be given a chance to talk to Kim Hanbin, there are 2 things that I will tell him. So first, I will tell him that we are so proud of you, all the IDs, and we are thankful for you for coming back to us. We hope to see you on your upcoming solo online concert. See you, Kim Hanbin! Next question is from JHYNNCNS. Favorite treasure era?
For me, it's my treasure. Kasi feeling ko nung era na yun, mas marami silang time mag-promote.
Ako, favorite treasure era ko is I Love You. Kasi yun yung time talaga na sobrang nakilala ko si Mashiro. Doon ko lalong na-prove na sobrang galing ng dance skills nila. Kasi I Love You, one of the hardest choreography of treasure. So sobrang proud ako sa kanila.
Ako, I would agree with Justin. My treasure din. Gusto ko talaga yung vibe ng
Very heartwarming.
Yes.
Next question is from Rob_Kim328. What was the first K-pop song you heard?
First K-pop song I've heard was Nobody by Wonder Girls.
Oh, sobrang
Because
old
nung
school.
nag-debut yung cousin natin, yun yung first ever Korean song na narinig ko.
Same, because
Diba?
I was there.
Yes.
Ako, first K-pop song talaga na narinig ko is Fire by 21.
21.
Kasi yun sa mga songs na sobrang sikat. Next question is from Tumesky_. This is
Hello.
Rala.
Hi,
Hi,
Rala.
Rala. How does it feel to have someone who support you in being a K-pop stan?
I think having someone na supportado ako, for example, tayo, masaya siya kasi nakaka-relate kayo sa isa't isa. Kunyari sa TikTok, may mga nagko-comment, gusto ko sana manood ng concert nila pero hindi ko pinayagan. So parang, hindi naman siya sad, pero nakakanghinayang nahirapan ka makahanap ng someone who supports you.
I think it's always good with whatever that you're doing, whatever that you want in life. Parang ang sarap nung meron talaga nagsusupport sa'yo. It makes everything extra special. We're just glad na...
Same interest
Yes,
tayo. So if you
we're very
guys
blessed.
found friends or anyone who relates to you, especially in K-pop, keep them.
Yeah.
Kasi sobrang hirap makahanap ng same interest these days. Kaya we're glad na kapag meron kaming mga K-pop reactions, marami nagsabi na nag-enjoy sila watching with us kasi parang feeling nila kasama rin nila tayo. So that's also the point na kaya tayo nagre-react and ina-upload natin on YouTube.
Yes, it makes us feel good, right? Every time we read their comments na ganun. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much
guys.
for watching with us. Okay, next question from Yan_OCNR. What is your favorite treasure song?
Come to me.
Okay,
Come
me,
to me.
beautiful.
Me, every day.
Yeah.
I love every day the new.
Well, lahat naman maganda, pero recently, mga tumes, everyday yung favorite. It's from Kiana Pauline_. Ultimate girl group and bias. So,
Sabay-sabay.
feeling ko same naman tayo
Yeah.
ng girl
One,
group.
two, three.
Blackpink!
Bias.
Bias Rosé.
Rosé.
Jenny.
Okay. From he.rome, educational background.
So I graduated communication arts in UST.
I graduated from San Beda. I am actually a registered nurse.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Nurse yan.
Yes.
So we are both Tomasians. We're both from UST, University of Santo Tomas. Go Uste. My major is special education and I am also a licensed teacher.
Wow. Teacher Jen.
Yes, Teacher Jella. She's actually teaching my son Harvey.
Yes. So more on preschool yung handle ko.
So next,
Next question is from Unisim Nida _ May I ask if meron po ba kayong nagawang bagay? Okay.
Parang malaki.
Wait lang. May I ask if meron na po ba kayong nagawang bagay na nakakahiya during concerts na napuntahan?
Ako meron.
Hindi naman siya nakakayang
Hindi naman
ginawa mo, pero parang nakakayang experience for you. Okay.
Yung kay Bobby, hindi nag-write yung pen.
Yeah.
Also, hindi naman siya nakakaya kasi parang for me, memorable siya. Pero siguro, in a way,
Nakakaya for Bobby kasi magkaharap na kayo tapos sabi ni Bobby,
more on nakakapanghinayang.
No, hindi ko kaya.
hindi ba rin ako nakamove on?
Ako
Pero,
rin, haven't moved on from that.
yes.
So far, wala pa naman kaming embarrassing
Yes.
moment.
At sana wala naman pong mangyayari.
Yes.
Ano ko na? Yung kila Sandara. Natumba-tumba tayo. Hindi mo nakaya yun.
Ay, oo nga!
Yun tayo!
Okay, guys. So, kung familiar kayo dun sa parang
Pen shop.
fan meeting ni
Pen
Sandara sa pen shop with Namjoon.
Namjoon.
Guys, it's a disaster! Hindi ko alam kung embarrassing siya, pero traumatic siya, guys. So,
Yes.
nagkaroon po ng stampede.
Hindi naman, muntikan na.
Mini stampede kasi nagkatulakan at nagkatumbahan po.
Yes, natumba po ako.
Natumba
Natumba
po
siya.
So,
Tapos may call ako na, tayo!
yes,
Tayo!
sabi lang namin, tayo!
Hindi
Tayo!
pwede matumba. Naku.
Yes,
bahala.
patigasan po ng legs. Kasi talaga kung hindi ka tatayo, madadagan
Puyat. Puyat
Puyat.
ko. Walang tulog, di ba? So, natumba ang lola. Siguro yun lang.
And sana
Just
wala
that.
na pong
Dramatic.
mangyaring gano'n.
Mhm.
Okay, next. Ay, nasagutin ba natin to? Kasi baka hindi po matapos yung ukbang.
Ano yun?
From Janjan_Del. Question niya is, what do you like and dislike about each other?
Issue.
May you start.
So, like muna o dislike? Feeling ko dislike muna para mag-end tayo sa maganda.
Okay. Go!
Walang maisip eh. Ang dislike. Ano mo?
Siguro moody.
Ako, moody din ako.
Aminado.
Actually, lahat
Actually,
tayo may
lahat kaya
pagka-moody,
tayo
no?
moody.
Mana-mana.
Siguro yun.
It runs in the blood.
Yeah.
Ako, aminado talaga ako, moody
Ako
talaga
din.
ako. Moody ako. Lalo na pag inaantok ako.
Ako
Ikaw, yung moody parang same na yun yung masungit.
Masungit. Masungit ako talaga. Sa lahat naman, kahit nung college pa, yun yung ano sa akin.
Masungit.
Masungit, pero mabait ako, pero yung baga masungit na,
Oo. Yun. Likes na, likes.
like, syempre, generous, pero naman generous, tapos kapag kailangan mo ng help sa isang bagay, nandun lagi sila.
Same. Talaga, reliable sila kapag, lalo na with what I'm doing, talagang naasahan ko sila kapag meron akong kailangan. They're very creative. I would say, aside from being reliable, I'm lucky because I have siblings like them na would really contribute and help with what I'm doing. Kasi not everyone gets to have that. And thank you guys.
Iyak.
Naumiyak? Ano ba
Naiyak ako. Ba't naiyak
Parang last year, umiyak din eh.
Naiyak din ako. Ano ba yun? Naiyakin ko kasi. Pero yun nga, si ate, sobrang generous. Iyak na yan. Ay, iyak
Wait
na
naman.
yan.
Ano ba? Nasa gitna pa lang tayo ng...
Wala pa nga.
Oh, di ba sa lahat ng bagay, generous talaga siya. Hindi siya nag-hesitate
magdadamo.
na mag-share. Yan. Tsaka pag alam niyang kailangan mo, hindi mo na kailangan mag-ask. Sabihin na bibigyan na niya agad sa'yo. Kainis ka talaga, Jan! So, syempre, meron mga dislikes, pero mas maraming likes.
Yeah.
Tsaka lahat naman ng siblings.
Tsaka normal naman.
Normal yun sa mga
Yes,
siblings.
true.
Ang important
Hindi
is, at
nag-grow
the end
ang-
of the day, magkakasundo si
Yes.
Because we're all in this
Together.
We're all in this together. Sumayaw. Okay.
Next.
Next. Next one. Jan! Ikaw na naman!
Napapadami
Jan
si Jan
na! Pero maganda yung mga questions mo. Jan_Del again. What's your funniest memory together?
Alam mo,
Marami kami actually laugh trip moments, di ba?
Pag nagta-travel na.
Oo, travel. Yung since bata and all.
Ano?
Before yun nga, lagi ko naalala ko talaga, before medyo, may
Ah!
pagkaano kasi ako mapang-asar. si Angela kasi shy girl yan nung bata.
Until now naman.
Well, yeah. Pero mas-shy ka before, as in. Naglalak ng room. So, ang ginawa ko, nagtago ako sa bed.
ano parang
Tapos,
alam ko to?
nagpa-practice siya ng kanta.
Whoops, scary,
whoops, scary, whoops! Yes.
Sabi mo, sinabi niya sa akin, si CR lang ako Sabi ko, CR siya, mag-practice ako sa kwarto.
May naalala
So
ko
ako
na.
naman, punta ako sa room, lock ako ng door kasi alam ko ako lang ang tao doon, at harap ako sa mirror. Oops, scary.
Bigay na bigay
Bigla
siya.
may narinig ako tumatawa.
May naalala ko, involved si Kuya.
Ako na naman!
Naghuhugas ako ng plato, nakaharap siya sa akin. Kumakanta siya ng This One for the Boys with the Boom. Nag-rap siya. Tapos sa likod niya si Kuya. Parang ganun lang sa akin. This One for the Boys
Bigay
with
na
the Boom.
bigay pa ako noon, Nicki Minaj!
High school
Funny
pa ako
kasi hindi mo parang out of character mo.
Sabi ko sa inyo, weird ako
Oo.
Yung shy, tapos parang may weird ako na
Oo,
ugali.
true.
So ako lang,
Pero
ako
ang
lang
dami
to.
pa. Siguro
Pero
hindi ko
siguro
lang...
yung talaga isa nag-mark sa akin, na sobrang tawang-tawa tayo, na funniest talaga siya, is yung nag-Korea tayo, tapos nag-bike tayo.
Mm.
Oh! Yes, guys!
Diba?
If you haven't watched that, alam mo, magaling kasi ako mag-bike nung bata ako. Ewan ko bakit hirap na hirap tayo
So,
mag-bike.
kung gusto nyo makita yung moment na yon, just click this video right here.
Yes.
Okay, next one is from Angeli Bisnar. Sino sa Treasure ang tingin nyo ay super underrated, lalo na sa pagkanta?
Oh.
For me, feeling ko
Underrated.
Pag sinabi mo underrated, magaling siya.
Yes, sobrang galing niya pero hindi niya bigyan ng
na-appreciate
long
ng lahat.
lines.
Yeah.
For me, si Mashiko.
Oh,
Si Mashiko naman, magaling talaga siya kumanta. As in, all-rounder siya. Pero,
Thank you.
correct me if I'm wrong Yun lang yung napapansin ko kasi
Opinion mo lang yun.
hindi ako ganun ka-active sa Twitter. Pero feeling ko lang si Mashiko.
Okay.
Ako feeling ko si Boyang.
Oh,
Koya.
same answer.
Kasi recently, parang dun ko lang din na ano eh.
Everyday.
Dun ko lang din na discover na wow, he has this distinct voice. And-
Kaya we're so happy na nabigyan siya ng mahabang line sa everyday.
Kasi usually,
Deserve niya
sobrang ikli lang ng lines.
2_high012. Oh, this is not a question, but I love you, D siblings.
Oh,
We love you
we love you
too.
too.
We love
Thank
you
you.
Meron na siyang question, guys. Okay. When did you start standing icon? I think sa aming tatlo, ako yung nag-start talaga na mag-stand
Sa
sa
Icon.
icon. So, nag-start talaga siya, yung stand na talaga is 2016. So, doon talaga ako nag-binge watch ng lahat ng shows ng Icon. From Win, from Mix and Match, Show Me the Money, pati yung mga Heroes of Remix. Sunod-sunod, pinanood ko yan lahat. So, after that, nung sobrang fan na nila ako, influence ko silang dalawa. Pinilit ko silang panoorin yung Icon. And nagtagumpay ako, guys. So, ngayon, lahat kami ay Icon.
Yeah.
Next question is from OOO_woo. Most treasured merch. Well, hindi naman kasi ako ganun talaga karami mag-collect. Pero so far, syempre yung mga hoodie siguro. Na binili ko recent. Kasi gusto ko
mahal din
talaga,
yun.
mahal. Tsaka gusto ko yung masusuot ko, yung pang matagalan. Gusto ko siyang suotin pag nag-travel, sa Korea. Kasi what if makita mo sila?
Ah.
Most treasured merch ko is Midnight Blue.
Mm.
Iman Ben's Midnight Blue album. Kasi alam naman ng lahat na limited copy lang siya, 10,000 copies all around the world. Sobrang thankful lang talaga namin na we were able to get our own copies and sobrang memorable ng comeback niya.
Ako naman, siguro yung first merch natin from Icon. I think that was the first time talaga na sobrang, alam mo yun, nag-stand talaga ako ng K-pop idol. So, it means a lot and significant kasi nga, first time ko magkaroon ng ganong klaseng feeling na ganun pala how it is to idolize someone or to be inspired by someone. So, yun.
2_high012. Top 5 favorite K-pop groups. Medyo mahirap siya. Huwag na lang siguro top 5. Kung baka sa 5 na gusto mo.
Hindi siya in order. Okay.
Ako muna. Blackpink, Treasure, Icon, Winner, Big Bang. Kasama mo na yung Tony One.
So, top 5 ko is Icon, Treasure, Winner, Blackpink, Big Bang.
Actually, Same
Parang
for
same nga,
me.
basta YG.
Oo, YG.
Yun yung top natin doon.
YG fan ba rin talaga ako.
Isabella Duran.
Hi,
Kaya siya,
Isabel!
hello. So question niya is, what are your guilty pleasures?
Ako, guilty pleasure ko is buying a lot of K-pop merch.
Yeah.
Well, wala naman ako talaga masyadong luho. Pero talagang pagdating sa K-pop merch, pag gusto ko talaga, bibilin ko.
Me, shopping.
Ako siguro, guilty pleasure is eating
Shopping
too much.
din?
Hindi naman ako ma-shopping. Hindi shopping ba? Hindi.
Oo din.
Nito na lang siguro.
Bigla-bigla na may mga dumadating,
Oo.
na mga bintaka.
Hindi, pero siguro yun nga, eating too much, yun yung guilty pleasure. It's from Erinaz. _ Erinaz.
Hi, Erin!
Among the three of you po, who has the most number of merch as of the moment? Love you, D-Sibs. Love you too.
Okay.
Love you too.
Well-
Of course, the answer is Angela.
It's me. Kasi pag bumibili naman ako, kino-consider ko sila na pang sa amin ang lahat. So what is mine is also yours.
From, again, Isabella Duran. Songs you listen to these days.
Ah, okay.
Ako, Stay.
Stay
By
by?
Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber.
Oh!
Yung sikat na sikat sa TikTok ngayon.
Yeah.
Wala lang, sobrang ganda. Tsaka recently, Destiny Rogers. Songs niya. Wow, Western.
Well, ako, yung song na lagi ko pinapakinggan these days is Lemonade
Wow!
by
Bye!
Jeremy Passion.
Oo.
Alam niyo na kung bakit? Hindi nga alam. It's because of Jungwoo. Kinanta niya yun sa V-Live.
She's my sunshine in the rain. My Tylenol when I'm in pain. Yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me.
So after niya talagang kantahin yan, hindi ko siya makalimutan. Saka relaxing nung kanta.
Well, ako, actually, iba-iba yung pinapakinggan ko ngayon. But most of the time, I find myself listening to mga instrumental. Kasi, para sa mga video, ko, hindi ako
yes.
naghahanap ng
As a content creator
yes.
kasi.
Of course, yung mga top sa global, I listen pa din. And of course, yung mga favorite namin ng mga K-pop.
Yes, since you all know naman na we love K-pop, pero aside from K-pop, we also listen to other genres.
Yes.
Yung mga western din tayo pinapakinggan, hindi lang puro K-pop.
Mahilig talaga tayo sa music.
Since
Ever
bata,
since,
yes.
Ever since we were kids.
The next question from Mauricio Lovely.
Ah, si Lovely yan!
Si
The
Lovely.
winner
Hi,
for
Lovely.
Two Life.
Hi, Lovely!
How are you?
Did you
Fine.
buy the TV
From Shopee.
holder?
What can you advise to those people like me who are losing their confidence because of discrimination?
Pang beauty queen. Well, sa akin kasi, hindi talaga siya mawawala. So, I think ang suggestion ko lang dyan is focus on yourself.
Yes.
Kung kilala mo yung sarili mo, dun ka lang mag-focus. Kasi kahit saan ka magpunta, meron at meron kang makirinig from other people. Ang important is yung mindset mo. Huwag ka magpapadala sa sinasabi ng iba.
Yes, you have to believe in yourself first. More than anyone, more than anything. Because it's true what she said. Not everyone will like you. You can't please everyone. So, pinaka-important, it should start within yourself. If you have a strong core, then whatever it is na dadating sa'yo or sasabihin sa'yo, then baliwala na yun, di ba? Hindi na ganun makaka-affect. So, self-love, self-care, you try to build yourself. Tama, yung mindset mo, yan pinaka-important.
Make sure lang to use it to your advantage. Gamitin mo yon para maging better ka.
Yeah, for you to be stronger,
Yes.
di ba?
Next question, _Maxine. Maxyinn. Most played K-pop song on your phone. Hindi ko maalala this year, pero kasi no last year, Ice Cream by Blackpink.
Blackpink.
Selena Gomez.
Me naman, winner songs. Like,
Baka mismo na kasi.
So after the concert, ang tindi nung obsession ko sa Winner and kay Nino. So talagang everyday I listen to their songs.
Ako naman, these days, meron dalawa. So first, pag gusto ko mag-relax, slow motion. And then, pag gusto ko naman parang ma-empower, pakinggan ko yung at ease.
Oh,
Meron ko.
really?
Okay.
Yes, parang,
Yes. Actually, nakaka-empower nga talaga yung beat, no?
yes.
Next question is from Robert Indeo.
Hi, Robert!
And the AO.
If you are given a chance, being on a variety show with Icon or being in a music video with Treasure? For me,
Hi,
ano?
Robert, it's so
It's hard
hard.
question. Pero ang sagot ko dito, siguro yung music video with Treasure. Just because feeling ko pag music video kasi, mas memorable
Meaningful.
siya, mas meaningful. Tsaka parang mas makapanood siya ng madami. Parang marami makakita sa'yo na you're with Treasure.
Okay. Ako siguro, kung pwede both talaga. Pero kung kailangan talaga pumili, pipili ko is variety show with Icon. Why? Kasi feeling ko pag variety show, longer yung filming, yung shooting. So baka mag-take siya ng mga 1 month, 2 months. So baka nung time na yun, sobrang close na namin, di ba? Magiging friends ko na sila.
Me also. Kasi feeling ko mas more interaction dun eh.
True.
Kasi kung music video, hindi naman pwedeng lagi ko nandun sa screen.
tama.
Siguro meron ka lang konting...
Yes. Baka konti lang mga scenes nyo
Oo,
together, piling-pili
konti-konti
lang.
lang,
Baka
diba?
wala pa nga interaction kasi minsan sinasama lang siya sa
Yes,
editing.
so baka hagip ka lang ng camera. At doon na po ako sa may
variety
interaction,
show.
sa sure.
Tsaka makikita mo talaga yung personality nila sa isang variety show.
So there, variety show.
Another question from Robert Indeo.
Oh.
What K-pop group you like, but too lazy to stand or memorize them? Love you all.
Oh, I think we have the same answer for this one.
NCT.
Yes, NCT. Sobrang gusto namin yung NCT and we find them so talented talaga. We love their songs. Sobrang dami rin kasi ng members and I think ang dami na rin natin na-miss. Dami nilang songs. Pero if we have time, we would love to get to know all the members.
Ako si ano bang group si Lucas?
NCT!
So, NCT yung gusto namin na mas makilala pa.
Next question is from Dauntless Royal.
Hi!
Hello!
Question niya is, can you have a fan meeting
Ay.
for DCIB subscribers
Oh, wow.
after this pandemic?
I wouldn't say it's a fan meeting.
Yes.
But of course, we would like to
To have a get-together
with you guys.
Yes.
Of course, to those who always support us
For
and
viewers.
watch our videos. Of course, we want to know you. We want to see you. Sana matapos na yung pandemic, di ba? So we can really interact and
Meet you all, guys.
yes, kwentuhan tayo. At least makapag-bond tayo, di ba? I feel like sobrang
You
ang
would
saya
love
nun.
that. So, let's all pray na wala na si COVID.
Yes.
Who's your top 3 bias and treasure?
Oh. Walang final sa tuwing.
Wala eh.
Wala.
Question is, who's more dramatic?
Oh.
Kaya niyang gawin yung cute, kaya niya gawin yung fierce, yung swag, and kaya niya sexy. Ilan taon na po ba kayo?
So, mas bata po is ako.
Yes. I love your name.
Possible po ba na mag-react kayo sa mga group na hindi po part ng YG family?
Kayo lagi nagko-comment.
Yeah.
Bakit grabe yung glow up mo?
my
Super
God,
lamig!
lamig!
Pero
Ang
tiis-tiis.
lamig.
The struggle is real.
Hanbin's departure from Icon. Why Jella D likes Mashiko?
Sandara paved the way.
Oh!
Kanina lang top 2 mo si Yeda. Guys,
Para pwedeng mag-top 1
ilang
bigla.
minuto lang po, nagbalit siya ng bias
Dahil
record.
dito sa sushi yun.